Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss structure of silicates and some common rock forming minerals. It is necessary to know about some common rock forming minerals which actually make up different rocks and determine the properties of rocks. This knowledge helps us to assess the suitability of different rocks for any given purpose. In order of abundance among different rock forming minerals, silicates rank first in the Earth's crust, oxides come next, then carbonates, phosphates, sulfates, etc. in greatly diminished importance. Since silicates are the most common rock forming minerals, it is desirable to know some important and relevant aspects about them. Structure of silicate is one of the important aspect that we should know about prior to go for detailed study on the silicate minerals. Silicate tetrahedron SiO4 is the fundamental unit of all silicate minerals. This is the shape of one unit of silicate tetrahedron. The four corners in this tetrahedron show the position of oxygen atom, and the silicon atom, which is much smaller than oxygen, lies at the center of tetrahedron. This unit has the nature of either occurring alone or in different combinations along with other cations in mineral structure. Because of this, different kinds of groups of silicate minerals are formed. The structures associated with silicate minerals are nasosilicates, sorosilicate, inosilicate, cyclosilicate, phyllosilicates, and tectosilicates. So firstly look at nasosilicate structure. In this group of minerals, silicate tetrahedra occur as independent units in mineral structure. Here the ratio of silicon and oxygen is 1:4. Means one silicon atom is bounded by 4 oxygen atoms. The example which has this kind of structure is olivine, and its chemical composition is MgFe2SiO4. Look at here, the ratio between the silicon and oxygen is 1:4. Next is sorosilicates. In this group of mineral, the silicate tetrahedra occur in pairs. Look at here, this oxygen atom is shared between 2 units of tetrahedron. Okay, so here the ratio between silicon and oxygen is 1:3 and half. How we can represent this ratio? Pick one unit of silicon tetrahedron. Now count the oxygen atom for one silicon atom. Okay, here in this unit we will have one oxygen atom, 2, 3, and this is half oxygen atom. Okay, because this oxygen is shared between 2 units. Okay, so for this silicon we will have how many oxygen atoms? 1, 2, 3 and half. Okay, so that's why here the ratio between silicon and oxygen is 1:3 and half. Malachite is the silicate mineral which has sorosilicate structure. Here the ratio between the silicon and oxygen is 2:7. Okay, that is nothing but 1:3 and half. Next is inosilicate structure. These are also called chain silicates because in this group of minerals, silicate tetrahedra occur as chains. Okay, resulting in more growth of mineral along one direction. Okay, along one direction only the silicate tetrahedron grow. Two varieties of inosilicates occur in nature. They are single chain silicates and double chain silicates. In single chain inosilicate structure, the ratio between silicon and oxygen is 1:3, because here two oxygen atoms are shared between the tetrahedron. Okay, so for one silicon atom, the number of oxygen atom will be 1, 2, half, and half is 3. That's why here the ratio between silicon and oxygen atom is 1:3. Okay, in one tetrahedron unit, silicate tetrahedron unit, the number of oxygen for one silicon atom is 4. See here, in 1 unit of silicon tetrahedron, the silicon atom lies at the center, and at all the 4 corners there is a oxygen atoms. Okay, but when this oxygen atom is shared between the tetrahedron units, then it is count as half for one silicon atom. In similar way, for double chain inosilicate structure, the silicon and oxygen ratio is 2:5 and half. See here, this is a double chain because this is one chain and this is another chain. Okay, and in this direction there will be a growth of silicon tetrahedron. Only in one direction they grow. So how we can count the oxygen atom for one silicon? Here we have to consider the 2 units, okay, to represent the ratio. So these 2 units we are considering here. For this silicon atom, the number of oxygens are half, half, and half, and for this silicon this will be half, half, and 1 and 1. Okay, this is also one more oxygen atom for this silicon. Okay, so for the 2 silicon atom, the number of oxygen will be half, half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and half. So the ratio is 2:5 and half. For 2 silicon atom, the number of oxygen will be 5 and half. Okay, or this ratio we can represent as 8:22. The example is anthophyllite. See here, the ratio between the silicon and oxygen is 8:22. Next is cyclosilicate structure. These are also called ring silicates because in this group of minerals, 3 or 4 or 6 silicate tetrahedra occur in ring form. Okay, look at here. Here 3 silicate tetrahedron occurs as a ring form. Here 4 silicate tetrahedron units. Here 6 tetrahedron units. The ratio between silicon and oxygen in all these 3 type of cyclosilicate structure is 1:3. Means the 2 oxygen atoms will be shared between the silicate tetrahedron here. So for one silicon atom there will be 3 oxygens. Okay, axinite is the example of mineral in which cyclosilicate structure is formed. Here the 4 silicate tetrahedron unit participate to form the ring structure. Look at its chemical composition. Here the ratio between the silicon and oxygen is 4:12. Okay, that is nothing but 1:3. In similar way, beryl is the example of cyclosilicate structure mineral in which 6 silicate tetrahedron units participate to form the ring structure. Next is phyllosilicate structure. These are also called seed silicates because in this group silicate tetrahedron occur as seeds, resulting in more growth along 2 directions. Okay, here the silicate tetrahedron unit grow in the 2 direction, in this direction and in this direction also. The ratio between the silicon in this kind of structure is 1:2.5. Okay, see here, consider 1 unit of the silicate tetrahedron. Here the 3 oxygen atoms are shared between the silicate tetrahedron units. Okay, that's why for one silicon atom there will be half, 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 and 1 oxygen atom, means total 2 and half oxygen atom. That's why the ratio is 1:2.5, or we can represent this ratio as 4:10. The example is muscovite mica. Next is tectosilicates. In this group of minerals, silicate tetrahedra occur in a three-dimensional framework, resulting in equidimensional growth of a mineral. Example is quartz, feldspar, zeolites, and feldspathoids. Okay, in this type of structure, the growth of silicate tetrahedron is in all the three directions. One thing we should know here is, in all silicate structure, the unshared oxygen atoms of the tetrahedron are shown as small filled circles, and shared oxygen atoms are shown as small empty circles. So this was all about the structures associated with silicate minerals. The other aspects of silicate minerals, that is isomorphism, polymorphism, saturated and unsaturated minerals, felsic and mafic minerals, all these we have already discussed in previous lecture. So we directly come to the details of common rock forming minerals. So let's start with the feldspar group. The term feldspar does not represent any single mineral. It refers to a group of different minerals which possess similar chemical composition, atomic structure, physical properties, and optical properties. There are very few rock types which are completely free from feldspar or their products of weathering. So firstly we look at its chemical composition. Based on composition, all feldspars may be described as aluminium silicates of potassium, sodium, calcium, and rarely barium. These are split up into two subgroups as alkali feldspars and lime feldspars. Among these two, alkali feldspars contain more silica than lime feldspars. Atomic structure. All feldspars are tectosilicates in atomic structures. It means the basic unit of silicate tetrahedron in them occurs in a three-dimensional framework type. In this framework, silicon is generally replaced partly by aluminium, thus making them aluminium silicates. The other cations, calcium, sodium, and potassium, also occur in the framework. Next is isomorphism. Isomorphism occur both in alkali feldspars as well as soda-lime feldspars or piezo-clase feldspars. The isomorphous substitution of sodium by potassium give rise to soda orthoclase or soda microcline. Means when sodium replaces potassium, then it becomes soda orthoclase and it becomes soda microcline. Isomorphism means the two minerals having same atomic structure but different chemical composition. Here orthoclase and the soda orthoclase having different chemical composition but both are having same atomic structure. In similar way, for microcline and soda microcline, they both are having same atomic structure and different chemical composition. This isomorphism also occur in soda-lime feldspar, which are also called piezo-clase feldspars. Okay, these piezo-clase feldspars are the product of isomorphism between albite and anorthite. In this, sodium silicon is replaced by calcium aluminium in an ideal way, resulting in complete gradation between the two end members of piezo-clase feldspars. In this table represent the compositional limits of different members of the piezo-clase series. Here AB stands for albite and AN stands for anorthite. albite having 100 to 90% albite and 0 to 10% anorthite. Oligoclase have 90 to 70% albite and 10 to 30% anorthite. In similar way, the compositional limits of andesine, labradorite, bentonite, and anorthite is given in this table. Polymorphism. As we can see here, the orthoclase and microcline both are having same chemical composition, that is KAlSi3O8, but they represent different properties because they are having different atomic structure. Okay, so the polymorphism occur between the orthoclase and microcline. Response to weathering. As a consequence of decomposition, feldspars lost sodium, potassium, or calcium in solution as chlorides or carbonates, and water molecules are injected into the structure, thereby turning them into hydrous aluminum silicates, which are nothing but clay. So, kaolin and illite are the common products of alteration of feldspars. Now we look at the physical properties of feldspar group minerals. Form of the feldspar group minerals are tabular. It means the minerals usually occurs as slabs of uniform thickness. Color. The feldspar group minerals generally have white, pale grey, or pale red. Okay, feldspar group minerals have white, pale grey, or pale red color. Green, brown, and other colors may also occur. Orthoclase is usually white or red. Microcline is pink or bright green, and plagioclase often shows gray or white color. Streak of feldspar group minerals is white or pale body color. Streak means the color of the powder form of minerals. Okay. Next is luster. Luster is vitreous. Fracture is generally even or even to uneven. Cleavage is generally two sets, and out of them one set is better developed. These two sets are mutually perpendicular. Hardness of plagioclase mineral are 6. A few species are slightly harder, that is 6 to 6.5. Density is medium. Specific gravity of potash feldspar is 2.57, and for plagioclases it ranges between 2.606 to 2.765. 2.606 is the specific gravity of albite, and 2.765 is the specific gravity of anorthite. Degree of transparency. These are not opaque. Thick feldspar specimens may appear opaque, but when examined along their thin or sharp edges, translucent character can be noticed along the margins. Occurrence of feldspar groups. Feldspars or their products of weathering are noticed in all the three groups of rocks, that is igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Now we come to the uses of feldspar group minerals. Feldspars are used in the manufacture of opalescent glass, porcelain and enamel. Bright green microcline, which is known as Amazon stone, is cut and polished to be used as an ornamental stone. Feldspars are also used as a binder for abrasive wheels and as a mild abrasive. Further, 95% of feldspars are consumed in glass and ceramic industries. In the next video, we will discuss the details of other rock forming minerals. Thank you.